What's up YouTube, it's TLM Jev. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showcasing two new center builds for y'all for Season 7. One is a 6'11" and one is a 7'2". This is going to be an update to a video I posted about 2 months ago that'll be on the screen right now. If you haven't checked out that video, check it out at the end. It's a 7'1" center, really great build as well. But let's hop straight into the builds, man. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let's get it. Alright, so I don't do this every video, but I think for a center it's pretty important to go over these attributes just very quickly. These are the must-have attributes for a center, I think, no matter what height you are. 93 block gets you gold anchor, probably the most important badge to have at least on gold. Anchor is just one of the most important things in the game, period. Getting blocks and stops in the paint is very difficult as it is. You don't want bronze or silver anchor, you want gold or Hall of Fame, so make sure you get at least a 93 block. 93 rebound, this gives you gold rebound chaser. It doesn't matter if it's offensive or defensive, just make sure you have at least gold rebound chaser. I think silver and below, again, are just not super great. As a center, you usually have two jobs. You usually get blocks, you get boards. You need to have at least a 93 in both of these categories. That's just my opinion. Every center I've seen this year has had those. If they have lower, they usually get horsed on or they get yammed on. So I mean, I would make sure you have 93 in both of those. 76 pass accuracy, this gives you gold break starter. This isn't as important as something like anchor or rebound chaser, but having that gold break starter helps you throw some very clean passes on the break, so make sure you have this at least on gold with that 76. And then lastly, we have the 85 close shot and the 80 standing dunk. This gives you gold fast twitch and silver rise up. Fast twitch is probably your most important inside finishing badge for a center. Being able to get standing dunks and standing layups off as quick as possible is super important. And then standing dunks are usually one of your main sources of scoring with the inside big man, so making sure that you have at least that silver rise up is pretty valuable. There's probably other stats you could throw on this. Like, I think it's good to have at least like a 75, 80 vertical, but it's not as important as having the stats you see on the screen right now. So now that that's covered, let's hop into the builds. Alright, so we're going to go over the 6'11" big man first. My face cam is probably going to block a little bit in the bottom right corner right now. Don't worry about that. It's not going to be in the way when we move to the next screen. The weight is 218, wingspan is 7'9", the body shape is built. This is going to be the first center. This is going to be the more athletic center. This is probably the big man you might want more so for rec. I think that 6'11" centers are not super amazing for Pro-Am. Just personally, I feel like the smaller centers kind of get just outdone with almost everything, whether it's blocks, boards. They are faster, so you could have better rotations, but I think the 6'11" is just better for the rec and playing with randoms. So we're going to start with that build first, and then we'll go over the 7'2" second. Alright, so going into the attributes and the badges, as you can see, we have 19 finishing, 0 shooting, 12 playmaking, 31 defense. We've got 78 speed, 70 excel, 76 strength, 89 vert, 90 stamina. As you all can see, for a 6'11" big, he is very athletic. We have almost 80 speed, we have almost 90 vert, we've still got 76 strength for that silver brick wall. The physicals are very good on the 6'11". We're going to start with the defense because that's probably the most important thing to your center build. We've got 94 defensive rebounding, 92 offensive, 99 block, 73 steal, 70 perimeter, and 80 interior. 31 defensive badges will give us Hall of Fame anchor, gold rebound chaser, and silver brick wall. We'll be able to run box out beast, chase down artists, we'll have workhorse. I mean, there's no weakness as far as the defense goes with the center. He's also pretty fast, so you can even get some good contests with that perimeter defense, get some steals with that 73. All around, really solid in the defense. One of the coolest things about this center build is that we actually have 86 pass accuracy, so we have Hall of Fame break starter, gold bailout, bronze vice grip, and then we can run Hall of Fame floor general as well. I mean, this build, it's not meant to be like a playmaking big man, but I mean, to give your teammates a +4 boost to all of their offensive attributes with Hall of Fame floor general, and then be able to throw zingers on the break with Hall of Fame break starter, it doesn't get much better than that. It's just a really nice addition to have with this build. So neither one of these centers can shoot. We have a 65 free throw, that is it. You'll have a 45 mid-range, no higher on either build. But here's the thing, if you're playing with a full team in Pro-Am, your shooting doesn't matter. You're going to be running pick and roll offense. If you're playing with randoms in rec, I still think you can make this build work. A lot of people do it. I've done it before. Is it as easy as being able to just go stand in the corner and space the floor for your team with a bunch of randoms? No, it won't be as easy. I promise you it will not be as easy, but you can set screens for your guard, you can set off-ball screens, you can block sit, you can still space the floor in ways that make sense and that you're not just in the way all the time. You don't have to have shooting on a center to be effective and be useful. I promise you that. I've played with randoms, I've played with a full team. You don't need shooting on your center to be powerful or effective. If you're trying to run a 5-out offense, obviously this center build's not going to be for you, but this is not the design of it. That's not the intention. So I wanted to get that out of the way though. This build does not have any shooting. If you want a shooting center, there will be one down in the description though, so feel free to check that out. So the finishing on this center is very, very good. We got 90 standing dunk for gold rise up. Very, very nice. 80 driving dunk for the quick drops off of 1. The best dunk package in the whole game, period. 74 driving layup, not terrible, nothing crazy. But then we have that 85 close shot for gold fast twitch, which is really, really good. Probably one of your most important interior finishing badges, which is fast twitch. So it's really nice to have that. And then silver limitless takeoff is also on this build, so that's going to be perfect for your quick drops. You'll be able to get the best dunk packages in the game. So that's the 6'11" big. We're going to show off the takeovers, and then I'm going to showcase the 7'2" next. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this because I feel like the center takeovers are just not super amazing as it is, and that is the only choices we have. I would probably go box out wall and stuff blocks. To me, these are probably the best center takeovers, which is not saying a ton. But for me, these are probably the best two to run. So I've said this before, I don't care a ton about the build names and the shades and all that, but diming finishers sounds pretty dang tough, I can't lie. So this is the 6'11" big, there's the shades on the screen. Now let's hop on to the 7'2" and show off that build. Also, we will be showing all of the badges that I run on both of these builds at the very end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Alright, now let's showcase the 7'2" center. As you can see, he is 227 on the weight, wingspan is 8 foot, the body shape is built. As you can see by the attributes and the badges, we do have 20 finishing, 0 shooting, 11 playmaking, 31 defense. The physicals are 63 speed, 52 acceleration, 77 strength, 78 vert, and 93 stamina. Alright, so we're going to quickly showcase the differences between the 6'11" center and the 7'2". As I kind of go down the list and tell you the things that change, you might be thinking to yourself, why in the world would you not just make the 6'11"? Here's the thing, with the 7'2", I just think with that longer wingspan, you're just more inclined to get more rebounds and blocks, and that's really about it. I think with the bigger body frames, you might set slightly better screens as well. So if you want that more traditional, just big man, grabs boards, grab blocks, set screens, and that's all you care about. You don't really care about contests, you don't care about steals, you don't care about speed, any of that. The 7'2" is probably the center for you. But just listen to some of these differences. We have 78 vertical as opposed to 89. We have a lot less acceleration, a lot less speed, lower perimeter defense, lower steal, lower pass accuracy, and then we have 1 extra finishing badge, and then we have 99 defensive rebound, which does give us Hall of Fame rebound chaser as opposed to just gold. So there's a few positives, but there's quite a bit of negatives. But again, like I said, being just taller and bigger just naturally gives you some attribute bonuses of being taller and having the longer wingspan. So that's why I showed both centers, because I wanted to give you the choice to have a more athletic or just a bigger interior threat. So we do have 76 pass accuracy now, which drops us from Hall of Fame break starter to just gold, and then no more Hall of Fame floor general. We just have silver now. We do have 1 extra finishing badge, like I said, but everything else with the build is basically identical. We still have the same strength, same stamina, basically, same block, offensive board. So I'm not going to go over all of the attributes, but that's the differences. So there's the 7'2" center. Already showed you the 6'11". I'm going to show you the takeovers for this build, and then we'll hop into the badges for both builds and kind of what I think you should run and where you should put your extra badge points. So same thing as the 6'11", box out wall and stuff blocks. Not much discussion needs to happen here. Again, it'd probably be different if we had more choices, but I just think with the takeovers that we do have, box out wall and stuff blocks are probably your best bet. Again, none of the center takeovers are super amazing, so it doesn't honestly matter a ton. It's more about the attributes that you get from the takeovers than the actual takeovers themselves. So this is the best options to run for your center. All right, so as you can see, the 7'2" center is a glass cleaning finisher. There's the shades on the screen. Now we're gonna hop into the badges. We're gonna start with the 6'11" center first, and then we'll go into the 7'2's badges after that. So we're gonna start with the 6'11" center's badges first. We're gonna go over the finishing, the playmaking, and the defense. Keep in mind, neither center can shoot, so we're gonna skip over the shooting section. So hopping into the finishing first, we've got silver limitless takeoff, the best finishing badge in the game, period. No discussion, no debate. Bronze slithery, bronze giant slayer, bronze posterizer, gold fearless, gold fast twitch, core it out, or core out, gold rise up. Either one of these are interchangeable. Masher is decent. I don't think it's super good anymore. They kind of broke inside finishing like over people, unless like someone's super tiny, and even then it may still rattle out of the rim. So I go fast twitch and rise up. This is probably the best finishing setup to run on your 6'11". As for the playmaking badges, we're going to run Hall of Fame Floor General, Hall of Fame Break Starter, core that out, and then we're going to go Bronze Vice Grip and Gold Bailout. Bailout and Vice Grip are both really solid, but the two biggest badges here are Floor General and Break Starter. Being able to chunk some really accurate passes down the court to your teammates off of rebounds with Hall of Fame is just so tremendously valuable to your team. And then Floor General, this just kind of saves badge points from someone else. Now your entire team gets +4 on their offensive stats. Would it be nice if you got that boost too? Sure, but you're the center. You don't really need to have the highest offensive stats. Your point guard, your shooting guard, everyone else, they need that boost. They're going to be taking more shots than you, more than likely. So having that Hall of Fame Floor General for them, really nice. All right, so here's the defensive badge setup. I'm not going to go through and say every badge I have on. You can see it, you can read it. If I try to go through and say all of these badges and the tiers that they're on, I'd probably run out of breath and pass out, so I'm not going to. But we have Hall of Fame Anchor, Rebound Chaser, Brick Wall, all really great badges in the tier 3. We do have 31 defensive badges, so we can kind of tweak this to whatever you want. I mean, you could run higher chase down artists. You could even take some of these badges off and run Pogo Stick. As for the +4 badges, I think you should either put them into defense, all of them, or you could put some into playmaking and get something like Dimer. We do have 86 pass accuracy, so if we wanted to, you could put your +4 here, and then if you have any of the extra badge points from any of the seasons, you could throw those here too. And then you could technically run Hall of Fame Dimer on this build. You could have Hall of Fame Break Starter, Hall of Fame Dimer, I mean, possibly even Hall of Fame Floor General. I'm not sure how the badges would work for that count, but I mean, you could have a really solid playmaking setup. For me, though, I'd probably just put them all into defense. I feel like there's a lot of really important, fun badges to have on for your defense. Especially as a center, you can never have too many defensive badges. Anyways, that is the 6'11" badge setup. Now let's go on to the 7'2". All right, here's the 7'2" center's badges. We have Gold Fearless, Silver Limitless Takeoff, Bronze Slithery, Bronze Poster, Gold Rise Up, Gold Fast Twitch, and Silver Aerial Wizard. We now do get to run Aerial Wizard and Fearless because Fearless finisher moves from the tier 2 down to the tier 1. So now we get an extra badge basically. But the setup itself is basically identical to the 6'11". And here's the playmaking badge setup. It's basically the exact same as the 6'11". The only difference is we did drop on our badge levels. We have Gold Break Starter as opposed to Hall of Fame, Silver Floor General as opposed to Hall of Fame, and then we have Bronze Bailout as opposed to, I believe it was Gold, and then Bronze Vice Grip. We also have Bronze Mismatch Expert and Bronze Special Delivery and Bronze Clamp Breaker. That don't really do anything on a 7'2", but we don't have any choice but to run them. So the 7'2's defensive badge setup is basically identical to the 6'11". Not much has changed here. The only real difference is now we have Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser as opposed to Gold, and I believe that our workhorse went up from Gold to Hall of Fame as well. We have 31 defensive badges again, so put these badges wherever you want, tweak them to your liking to fit your playstyle. As for the +4 badges for the 7'2", I would probably put them all into defense. If you have more than the +4, then you could maybe put them into finishing and get something like Masher on Bronze or Silver. You could even take off Aerial Wizard and then maybe get Masher on Gold. Again, totally up to you, just depends on how many extra badges you have. But probably I'd put them into defense. I just think as a center, there's not really any negative to having extra badges. If you put your +4 into defense, you could run more chase down artists, you could tweak your setup and then go some Pogo Stick. So that's my recommendation, put them into defense. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get updated the second I post a new 2K video. All these things help out the channel, help out the algorithm, so I'd really appreciate it. Check out some of the other videos on my channel popping up on the screen right about now.